Hi, we're going to go ahead and do a quick yoga session. I'm out on the boat today on Lake Coeur d'Alene. So we're going to go ahead and come to the top of our mat, starting in our mountain pose. We want our feet hip-width distance apart, spreading out our toes, getting a nice good foundation. Again, lining the joints up. We want hips over knees, knees over ankles, and then actively reaching the crown of the head up to the ceiling, letting the shoulders release down and away from the ears. We can go ahead and turn our palms forward as we close our eyes, checking in with our body, making sure that we are aware of anything that's going on, anything that we need to honor today. We want to make sure that we protect the body the best that we can. So just doing a body scan here and checking in. And then we'll go ahead and start to focus on our breathing. We want to breathe into the belly, letting the belly move as we inhale, letting the ribs expand before we take that natural exhale. Maybe having a pause in between, and then inhaling again, moving the belly. Ribs moving out, fully letting the lungs fill up before we exhale. Finding that nice, slow, deep belly breath. We want to be connected in to our body, to our breath, letting go of any judgments, competitions, or expectations we have of ourselves. Let's go ahead and take a nice big inhale. We'll sweep the palms up to the ceiling, letting the palms meet together, exhaling down to our heart center. We go ahead and bring our fingertips to our forehead, linking mind, body, and breath here. We'll go ahead and inhale, reach up. Exhaling to the heart. Inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, coming to the heart. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, swan diving, moving into forward fold, hinging at the hips. Letting the crown of the head reach to the ground. Bringing the hands to the shins, we lift halfway up. Hands come back behind us, palms facing the ground, into airplane pose. We go ahead and shift forward, moving into chair pose. And moving with the breath, we want to inhale and reach up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lifting it up. Exhaling to airplane. Inhaling to chair. Exhale, holding. Inhaling, sweeping up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lifting up. Exhaling to airplane. Inhaling to chair. Exhale, holding. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, we bring it all the way down. Moving the hands to the shins. Lifting half up, alternating knee bends here. Just stretching through the back part of the legs, through the sciatica. And then releasing, bringing the hands back down to the mat, stepping back into our down dog. Alternating heel presses here. Pedaling the feet. Bringing the knees down to the mat. We'll go ahead and move our wrists underneath our shoulders, our knees under the hips, and we'll go ahead and move through cat and cow using our breath to guide us. So as we pull into cat, we pull the belly button towards the spine, rounding the back. As we move into cow, reversing the curve of the spine, letting the tailbone lead the way up to the sky, lifting through the head and heart. Moving with the breath, one movement, going at our own pace here. Just moving with the breath. Using that flexion and extension of the spine to move and breathe. Then we'll go one more time through both cat and cow. Moving into our child's pose, letting the tops of the feet onto the mat, sinking the hips back onto the heels, and then letting the forehead come down to either the mat or the back of the hands, or stacking our fists. Extending our hands out in front of us. We're going to go ahead and go into that modified vinyasa flow. So we want to inhale into our kneeling plank, exhaling down into chaturanga, inhaling, pressing up, exhaling, pressing back, inhaling into a kneeling plank, exhaling, lowering into chaturanga, inhaling, coming up, exhaling, pressing back, inhaling, kneeling plank, exhale to chaturanga, inhaling up, exhaling, pressing back. We're going to go one more time. Inhaling, exhaling down, pressing up, and going back to child's pose, holding here. Either keeping the arms extended, or we can bring the hands back by the heels. Coming back up onto all fours. Again, bringing the wrists under the shoulders, the knees, under the hips. We're going to go ahead and go into sunbird. So we're going to start with our right leg, flexing and pointing the foot. We're going to inhale, take the foot up to the sky. Exhale, pull the knee to the chest. Inhaling, pressing up to the sky. Exhaling, pulling knee to chest. Inhaling and pressing up. Exhaling, pulling in. Inhaling, pressing up. Exhaling, pulling in. Inhaling up. Exhale, pulling in. One more time. Pressing up to the sky. And then pulling into the chest. And coming back to all fours, flexing, pointing our left foot. We inhale, take that up to the sky. Exhale, pull knee to chest. Inhaling, pressing up to the sky. Exhaling, knee to chest. Inhaling, pressing up. Exhaling, pulling through. Inhaling, pulling up. Exhaling through. Inhaling up. Exhaling through. One more time. Inhaling, pressing up. Exhaling, pulling through. Coming back to all fours. And then going back to child's pose again here. Either extending the hands or releasing them back. Taking the hands out in front of us, we're going to get ready to come into down dog again. So we want to come up, tuck the toes, lifting the hips, letting the head move through the arms, pressing the heels towards the mat. We can go ahead and come up on the toes, bend through the knees, press through the heels. Up on the toes, bend through the knees, press through the heels. Up on the toes, bend through the knees, press through the heels. Up on the toes, bend through the knees, press through the heels. Stepping up, coming into forward fold, hinging at the hip, letting the crown of the head release to the floor. Hands move to the shins, lifting half up. Exhaling back to forward fold. Inhale, reversing, coming all the way up. Reaching up. Releasing, stepping back with that left foot into our warrior two. Remembering to breathe. We want to be able to see that big toe on the inside of that front knee. Opening up through the hips and actively reaching through the fingertips in our warrior two. Turning our front palm, reaching up into reverse warrior. Again, reaching through the fingertips. We can either let the hand come back and support on that back leg, or we can go deeper, wrapping it around behind the back. If our back feels supported, we can reach through. And again, our head can look down over that back shoulder or up to the sky. We come back to warrior two, remembering to breathe. Coming into a modified side angle, we let that front arm land on that front thigh, opening up to the sky. Rotating the chest open. We're not putting a lot of weight on that front thigh here. We're going to go ahead and breathe with it. So we want to inhale into warrior two. Exhale to reverse. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhaling, reverse. Inhaling, warrior two. Exhaling, side angle. Inhaling, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhaling, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhaling, warrior two, and hold. Straightening out the front leg, pressing the hip back, reaching forward, moving into triangle. Letting that hand come to the shin, ankle, or mat. Opening up with that top arm. Dropping the top hand and turning to our standing straddle. Pivoting the toes to the side of the mat, letting the top of the head release to the ground. Placing the right hand on the mat as we take the left hand up to the sky, opening up. Switching sides, taking the left hand to the mat, taking the right hand up to the sky. And then bringing it back down to our standing straddle. Drawing the chest towards the thighs, the crown of the head towards the floor. Bending into that front knee, into our side lunge, into Skandasana. We can turn the toes up. And then we walk the hands around to the front of the mat. Taking the right hand up to the sky, opening up. Bringing it back down, stepping up. Into forward fold, hands to shins, lifting half up, shoulders pulling back away from the ears. Moving into airplane. Shifting into chair. Inhaling, reaching up. Stepping back with that right foot, left foot steps forward to warrior two. Turning the front palm up. We move to our reverse warrior. We move back to our warrior two. Moving into our modified side angle here. Opening up to the side. We'll go ahead and move with our breath. We inhale to warrior two. Exhale to reverse. Inhaling to warrior two. Exhaling, side angle. Inhaling to warrior two. Exhaling to reverse. Inhaling, warrior two. Exhaling, side. Inhaling, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side. Inhaling, warrior two, straightening out the front leg, pressing the hip back, reaching forward, moving into triangle. Hand comes down to the shin, ankle, or mat as we open up with that top arm up to the sky. And then we take it to our standing straddle here, dropping the crown of the head to the floor. Taking a nice long inhale, lengthening through the spine. As we exhale, drawing the chest a little bit closer to the thighs. Bending into the front knee here. The back toes can come up and rotate open up to the sky. And then we will go ahead, walk our hands around to the front of the mat again. And then that front foot that's down, we're going to take that hand up to the sky. Bringing it back down, stepping back into down dog. We're going to go ahead and go into plank to chaturanga. Turning the feet onto the mat, we press up into up dog. Tucking the toes, we press back to down dog. Bending the knees, going into child's pose. Coming around to our seated position. We have options today. I'm on a hillside, so I got some bumps going on. We're gonna go ahead and extend the legs into staff pose, sitting up through the spine, shoulders down away from the ears. We're going to go ahead and start with our left leg. We're going to pull that left leg in. We can pull it around underneath us. Now this right leg can either come just to a bent position. We can cross it over the top, or we can stack the knees on top of one another if that's an option for today. We'll go ahead and inhale, reach up, exhale, twist to the right. Remembering to breathe, lengthening as we inhale, twisting deeper as we exhale. coming back around. We'll go ahead and switch sides. We want to pull that right leg up and in around our body. And again, it might be different from side to side. We might want to stop here. We can cross it over. I want to get out of a hole. So we can go ahead and stack the knees if we can. Sitting up, we inhale and reach up. Exhale, twisting to the left this time. Again, remembering to breathe. Let that breath help us. Inhale and lengthen, exhale and twist. Then we'll go ahead and come around. Bring both feet to the mat. Our hands come back by our hips, fingertips pointed towards our toes. We're going to come into our tabletop position, so we want our feet hip width distance apart here. And then we just go ahead and press, lifting our hips up. If that is too much rotation, external rotation on our shoulders, we can go ahead and extend the legs and come into a reverse plank. But if we can, we want to go ahead and go into our tabletop, lifting through the hips, coming down whenever we need to, coming back up when we're ready. And then we bring it down. We'll go ahead, coming back to that seated position, feet are on the ground, knees are bent. We'll go ahead and come into boat. I'm on a lake, we're gonna go to boat. So we have options with boat here. We can either grab hold of the hamstrings and tilt back. Again, that hillside. So we can grab the hamstrings, tilt back. We can let the hands come by our side. If we want to challenge ourselves, we can start to extend the legs up towards the sky. And again, we can come back to that boat position. And when we play with the arms, coming out is going to go higher up into the ribs, and coming down is going to go lower into that lower abdomen. So we can adjust our hand position on what we want to focus on today. And then if we want to, we can also play going into canoe and into that hollow hold and up into boat, and then back to canoe and to boat, to canoe, to boat, canoe, boat, canoe, boat, canoe, boat, canoe, boat, canoe, boat. One more time, to canoe, and then boat, and then we can release. Let's go ahead and pull knees to chest, releasing the back here. We can let out a sigh, sound, or scream. Just releasing knees to chest, releasing the back. Let's go ahead and bring the feet down to the mat, letting the soles of our feet touch as we come into reclining butterfly. Opening up through the hips, remembering to breathe. And then we go ahead, bring our feet back to the mat. Arms can come out like a T. And we'll go ahead and pick up the hips, shifting them over to the left, letting the knees drop over to the right. We can hold this supine twist, or we can extend through the top leg, reaching the toe towards the ground. Releasing and bringing the spine back into alignment onto the mat, lifting the hips, making sure that the spine is back in line. We want to go ahead and pick up the hips, shifting them over to the right, letting the knees drop to the left. Again, we can hold the supine twist, or we can extend through the top leg, reaching the toe towards the ground. Releasing and coming back to center. We'll go ahead and go into a little bit of a final relaxation today. Extending both legs, our feet, our toes can drop open out to the side, and our hands can either be by our sides, palms face down, palms face up, or we can put our palms on our belly, resting there. Closing our eyes, exhaling completely. Surrendering to the softness of our pose, scanning our bodies limb by limb, and inviting any residual knots of tension to dissolve. Allowing our bellies to peacefully rise up and down with the waves of our breath. Inviting the breath to deepen while witnessing the breath rather than controlling it. Noticing the stillness and how it supports us. With each exhalation, we drift closer to soothing contentment. I'll let you know when it's time to move again. We can go ahead and start to move the fingers and toes, and then bring the knees to chest. We can rock from side to side, and slowly make our way to our seated position. The easiest way we can for our bodies today, if that's rolling over to one side, and then pressing the earth away and coming up. We'll go ahead and take a nice big inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, releasing wide. Inhaling and reaching up. Exhaling, releasing wide. One more time, we want to go ahead and inhale, reach up. Palms meet together, coming down to our heart center. Thank you. Thanks for practicing with me today. Have a good day.